Happy what is this, Tuesday? Good night. Sometimes I'm telling you, man, it just be one of them days. I just don't know if I'm coming or going, man. But happy Tuesday to the NBA community, man. Check this out. Draymond Green, he's at it again. He's not taking no accountability. I got to talk to the bosses about Draymond Green, man, because I'm reading and I'm seeing some things online. And I really got to talk to the bosses, man. Y'all know how I give it up here at the Best of Seven Sports Talk. I'm Seven Mitchell, your host, the number one hater. Got to talk about what's going on with Draymond Green, man. Let's get into the show. Woo! Turn my mic up, y'all. Good morning, NBA community. Welcome back, y'all, to the Best of Seven Sports Talk. I'm Seven Mitchell, man. Y'all already know the vibes and how we give it up here. Man, daily NBA content, y'all already know. If you guys are new to this channel, man, you got to subscribe, man. There's nothing left to do but subscribe. Hit that notification bell so y'all can stay in the mix of every time I drop my daily NBA content, because you know it's always up over here at the Best of Seven Sports Talk. So Draymond Green, man, I'm online and I'm seeing some things. Draymond Green, I'm looking at an excerpt from Draymond talking about his biggest regret. And according to Draymond Green, this is what he says. He says, I think for me, 2016, I'll always beat myself up for that one. Not because we lost. It was not because I got suspended or the way it went down. I don't have any regrets about that stuff. But the regret I do have is how we had a golden opportunity to not only be 73-9, but win the NBA Finals, to put together the absolute best year in NBA history, and we let it fall. So I'm reading this, bro, and two things to me always can be true. But I really got to talk to the bosses about Draymond Green, because this guy is not taking no accountability again. Like, Draymond Green to me needs to be drug tested, bro. I got to keep it a buck.
You smoke crack, don't you?
I mean, listen, being 73-9 and coming up short in the NBA Finals, you definitely are living with regrets. I'm not doubting that. But for you to say that your suspension, your behavior, you don't have no regrets about that, bro. The narrative and the storyline for the last 6 years is you're the reason that the Golden State Warriors didn't win that championship. I saw a clip yesterday I was reading on Shannon Fry. I'm gonna see if I can find that article because I wanted to kind of read up on that. Shannon Fry was talking about how the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2016 in the finals, they kind of baited Draymond Green into the suspension. But, I don't really feel like Draymond was the biggest reason for the Warriors losing after being up 3-1 to LeBron and the Cavaliers back in 2016. Like, I don't know what y'all think. Maybe y'all looking at it from a different lens. But to me, it was a collective of things that happened with Golden State losing to Cleveland in the finals. And one of those things to me could have been momentum. Not just in the finals, but if you go back to the Western Conference Finals, a lot of people forget that Golden State was down 3-1 in that Western Conference Final round to OKC. So for you to be able to come back 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals, go up 3-1 in the finals, and then lose 3 in a row, including what, 2 at home in that last 3-game stretch, like you had to pretty much been running out of gas and kind of burnt out, in my opinion. You look at the offensive production from Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, especially like in game 6, game 7, like didn't Steph go 0 for 6 or something like that? Like his finals performance in 2016, him and Klay Thompson, if you want to be real, was definitely subpar. Draymond Green, bro, like he's just a nigga that you love to hate. He's a nigga that I love to hate. I can't even hold y'all because when I think about him and his role and his importance, it doesn't look like he has impact, but that dude has definitely been the glue of what the Golden State Warriors have kind of produced over the years. But it's crazy because he's not the best player, and to me, he causes the most problems. But when you go back to that final round, bro, I don't really blame everything on Draymond, but his role in that suspension played a major part. And I heard people talking about how LeBron went in the post game and kind of said that the referees was going to take a look at that Draymond incident and play. That kind of assured the suspension. But this suspension really wasn't based off of one play. That's the thing that a lot of these NBA fans or people that really don't even know the game keep kind of pointing out as a narrative, and that's just not true. There was a collective of technical fouls that Draymond had coming up to that point. You see what he just did against Steven Adams in the round before, just to give an example. So this wasn't like a literally isolated incident with Draymond Green having the issue with LeBron, and then he got suspended over that. People feel like, the NBA cheated for LeBron. Shout out to my guy Showtime with Showtime Sports Debates, man. I was on his panel yesterday and just listening to some of the opinions from some of the people on how they feel like the NBA cheated for LeBron, and just all types of weird stuff coming out of people's perspective. But you got to look at Andrew Bogut getting hurt, because in the first couple games, when you think about it, when he was in, not that he's an impact player, but the first couple games, Cleveland could not figure out how to be productive in the paint for the first few games for the most part. Like he had some type of presence. Even Tristan Thompson didn't have any type of presence until Andrew Bogut left. Once Andrew Bogut was out with the injury, we definitely saw Tristan put his pain in, as well as other guys like, JR and Iman Shumpert and the rest of the gang. But with Draymond Green, I think his suspension definitely played a role because it cost Golden State momentum. Momentum plays a huge factor in the wild world of sports, especially in basketball, especially in the playoffs, especially in a 7-game series. The game slows down. You playing the same team for up to 7 games. So, you're able to study a little bit more the good and the bad of your competition. So momentum is definitely important. And, clearly when Draymond had got suspended, that shifted everything. But that wasn't the sole reason why they lost, because Draymond Green came back game 6. Draymond Green came back game 7. To me, game 7, he went off. He was the best player offensively in a game 7 at home when you got Steph and Klay. So I can't sit up there and put the onus on Draymond Green. The only thing I don't like about the statement that he's talking about with his biggest regret is just the whole 73-9, them not winning the championship. Like, he's good with everything that he did, but losing was his regret. I think that's that. I'm not gonna say he's lying, but to me, it's just crazy. It's just another incident of Draymond not, being accountable for his actions, because it wasn't just, like I said, a one-time deal. He was a repeat offender, and that's what generated the actual suspension. So, it is what it is on that part. Um, but again, when you look at Draymond Green and you ask yourself, could Draymond have won, or could Golden State rather have won championships, the same amount of rings? Let's say four. Could they have won the same amount without uh Draymond Green? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I don't think they would have any of these championship rings without him. But he has never been the best player on the team. And I keep saying over and over and over again, I feel like he is more a liability than an asset to the Golden State Warriors at this point. You talking about a franchise or a potential dynasty or just a culture of winning, right? He's helped establish that. But look at all the negative things that has happened within the Golden State Warriors within the last, what, 5 years, right? 3 to 5 years. Look at all the kind of negative things that has happened to Golden State. He is the nucleus surrounding all of it. From Kevin Durant, from the finals getting suspended, Kevin Durant, Jordan Poole. There was reports that Bob Myers, like, one of the reasons that he left the front office of Golden State in a sense was Draymond Green, because the direction was different as far as where the team should go with Draymond. I don't know how true that was, but you got Chris Paul now coming into the fold. And Draymond has went on public and said that he's not a fan of Chris Paul. He's not friends with Chris Paul. He don't like Chris Paul. So it's just like you have that drama or that storyline, and the season haven't even started. Chris Paul, he's getting in the interviews talking about, it's going to be hard for the competition this season because he loud and Draymond Green is loud and he feels sorry for the competition. I don't even see Chris Paul finishing the year in Golden State. So I think that's a bunch of cat. But what cost the Warriors the most in the championship round in the 2016? Like I said, it was just a collective of things. You know what I'm saying? LeBron and Kyrie, them guys stepped up in the biggest moment at the perfect time on both ends of the court, especially with LeBron. And like I said, you had the Andrew Bogut injury that just opened a lot of things up inside for Cleveland towards the second half of that series. And the production of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, namely Steph Curry, to me, I'm putting all the blame on that kid. The babyface assassin is honestly who I would give all the blame to, or the most, if you want to be technical. If he would have just had one or two decent games, not no crazy all-star superstar numbers, if he would have just had two decent games, Golden State would have never been in that position. And they damn sure would have been able to close it out in the Oracle for game 7. But he came up very short. That, I don't want to say it was a choke job, because honestly, he's come up short in a couple of finals rounds, even though they had won championships. They had got two more right after that, getting Kevin Durant. But Steph Curry, he wasn't an MVP. He just recently got an MVP for the finals 2 years ago versus the Boston Celtics. So even though Steph has been the best player on the team, he definitely hadn't played up to expectations when it counted the most before, especially in 2016. And when you are that guy, and when you come up short, especially being up 3-1, I would put more blame on you than somebody like, Draymond Green, even though Draymond Green, you could probably say back in 2016, was the real leader, especially in the locker room. So I don't, I if there was a pie, I'm giving Steph Curry 60%. No, I'm giving momentum 60%. I'm giving Steph Curry 30%, and I'm giving Draymond maybe the other 10. That 30% is kind of iffy for me, but the majority, when we talk about an individual on that team, it was just the way Steph and Clay had played, especially like I said though, Steph Curry. But a lot of people again don't take in consideration those guys were down 3-1 to Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook in the round before that. So I wonder how gassed they were coming into this finals round, and then you go up 3-1. You probably not gassed in, but Cleveland stretched the series out to the max. So you wind up having to play 3 more games. So maybe Golden State at the end of the day was just gas. But there was something that Shannon Fry was talking about when we talked about Draymond. Here's the article I do want to read. It says that many believe that Draymond Green's infamous suspension in the 2016 finals opened the door for the Cavaliers to start their iconic comeback against the Warriors. With the Warriors leading the series 3-1, Draymond had found himself suspended for Game 5 after he and LeBron James got into that Game 4 altercation. Prior to the altercation, Draymond had already had 3 flagrant fouls points in the 2016 postseason, and the Game 4 incident gave him a 4th, triggering an automatic suspension. So that right there alone kills the narrative about the NBA cheating for LeBron James. They making it seem like him being suspended for the altercation with LeBron was an isolated incident, and the NBA didn't want LeBron and Cleveland to lose, so they just suspended Draymond Green for that, like Kiki Vandeweghe did that. Like, I mean, it was just crazy coming up with that type of narrative. But what was interesting, like I said, according to Shannon Fry, who had won the championship along with LeBron and the Cavaliers, he said the Cavaliers were entirely aware of the Draymond situation, how many technicals he had and was playing with at the moment, and they were trying to bait him into that 4th technical to, get that suspension. He says everyone was trying to bait him, and they're mad about it. And you can't be. That was a perfect strategy. You know your personnel, and you know your opposition. So that was a real smart move in my eyes when you think about just understanding the actual moment, regardless if you're winning, regardless if you're losing, understanding that one of the most impactful players on the other team is on the borderline of being out for a game in this series. You have to push that to the limit. And you have to blame Steve Kerr as a coach for not being able to identify that and doing whatever he could do. Now, I'm not saying he had total control over Draymond Green. I think that'll be a little bit blasphemous. Everybody's a grown man. You got to be, again, responsible and accountable for your own actions. But, it didn't seem to me that those guys understood that, or they just took it for granted. Like Draymond could have afforded to, be suspended and they wouldn't lose this 3-1 lead. But, that's just totally on Draymond Green as far as the accountability, and listening to him talking this excerpt and him saying that he feels that, just not being champions after having a 73-9 season was his biggest regret. To me, that's just cap, bro. I'm not even going to hold you. I got to keep it real. And like I say, when you're talking like that, Draymond, I just be feeling like you need to be drug tested,
crack,
bro.
Don't you? You smoke crack, don't you?
And I don't know what's going to happen now when we talk about Draymond and Golden State. They brung in Chris Paul, like I said, but Draymond Green had made it known that he doesn't like Chris Paul. Chris Paul recently did an interview. He did a lot of capping, making it seem like, him and Draymond collectively is going to be a problem for the competition this season. Again, that's a bunch of BS. Chris Paul, you don't even fit in Golden State. I wish you just knock it off. Those guys run around. You're too slow. You're too slow. And I just don't see that making any sense. I don't see that working at all, to be honest, even if he comes off of the bench. And when did, let me see. I don't think I gotta look, but I thought I had a stat about Chris Paul um coming off the bench. Like, I don't know how many times he's actually come off the bench in his NBA career. It hasn't been a lot. I can say that much. So, that I'm just not really jacking it when Draymond talk about his biggest regret, man. I think that's a little bit of a gap. Oh man, let me show y'all something real quick. Let me see if I can pull this up. Because yesterday I went off on Steph Curry yesterday for his top five list. And you guys wouldn't believe how many arguments I got into yesterday with Steph Curry having Kobe Bryant as a top five starter at the three position over LeBron, over Larry Bird. Like, it to me, it was blasphemous. And there was so many people talking about good job, Kobe, good list. I mean, good job, Steph, good list, Steph. Like, I'm like, yo, how can you explain to me and explain to the American public, especially the NBA community, that Draymond Green was that Kobe Bryant was a three and was a better three than the likes of MJ. I mean, not MJ, LeBron. Like, it is, you see, I'm twisted. But yeah, man, that just bugged me out, bro. But look at what we have here now with James Harden. So this is James Harden all-time starting lineup. And I guess, like I said, they can't be doing this by literally position. This must be just a customized situation. And like I said, when it came to Steph Curry's list, if he was doing it by player, I'm good with that because it's opinionated. It is what it is. But if you're doing it by position, you not having LeBron as I don't care if you like him or hate him. You just lose credibility to me doing that, bro. You really do. Steph got to knock it off with that. But you got James Harden. James Harden has LeBron at the point, Kobe at the shooting guard, Michael at the three, Tim Duncan at the four, and Shaquille O'Neal at the five. James Harden list is just as damn. I mean, I don't like this. This is ridiculous to me. This is just as stupid. This is just as ridiculous as Steph Curry's list. Now, I like the fact that you got LeBron on there, but why the hell would you put Michael at the three and LeBron as LeBron over Magic? I'm not going that far. Now, he did surpass Magic Johnson all time in assists. I think that's definitely partially due to, just the longevity of the game of basketball that LeBron has played in the league. LeBron is in his 21st season. I think Magic only played 14, 15 years or something like that. So, it was a huge accomplishment to surpass Magic in assists. But the eye test show you there was not a floor general alive better than Magic Johnson in the professional basketball. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching basketball since the 80s. He has definitely been the best point guard in my eyes. You putting Kobe at the two is so much, and I don't want to be a hater to Kobe Bryant, but y'all not being real. Y'all just not being real. I know that he passed away, and y'all going to make it y'all business to keep his name in the conversations, in a sense, as it should be. He is definitely one of the greatest. But if he did not beat Michael Jordan out for that two spot, he didn't beat Michael Jordan out for that two spot. It just is what the hell it is. Stop trying to, sacrifice reality just to appease Kobe Bryant fans or to keep Kobe's name alive. You got to just put it out there like it really is. And you're not going to tell me that Kobe Bryant was a better two guard than Michael Jordan. That's cap. So James Harden, bro, it's just like, this is just, I don't be respecting it. And then you had Michael Jordan playing at the three position. How long or how often did Michael play the three? Don't make too much sense to me. Tim Duncan as the best power forward in the game. I don't have no problem with that. And a lot of people, he had Shaquille O'Neal. Steph had Shaquille O'Neal. James Harden had Shaquille O'Neal as their starter. He's the most dominant So if you are going to have a starting five, maybe I wouldn't pick him. Give me Hakeem. Hakeem Olajuwon to me is better than Shaquille O'Neal on both ends of the court. Plain and simple. I think with the starting five, the other players that you do have, you don't maybe need the type of skill set that Hakeem has to start. You might want that dominant presence by Shaquille O'Neal. He's not going to be shooting jumpers and stuff like that. He's going to stay in the post. He's going to take everything coming in. Everybody else will deal with the perimeter game and the shooting. So maybe Shaq makes sense for these guys starting fives. You know, I can't really argue that once I kind of think of it from that angle. But when we just talking about best of the best, Shaq ain't better than Hakeem to me because of how Hakeem played on both ends of the court. And I'm not even going to talk about how he did Shaq in the finals. Y'all already know what this is, man. I'm Seven Mitchell. This is the Best of Seven Sports Talk. I want y'all to let me know in the comment section what y'all thought about Draymond Green and what he said is his biggest regret. He says it's not that he got suspended. He said it's basically because they were 73-9 and they didn't win the finals. He basically is just not taking any type of accountability. What are your thoughts and opinions on that? I'm Seven Mitchell with the Best of Seven Sports Talk. Become a member today. If you guys are new, become a member here at the Best of Seven Sports Talk. We definitely love to have you on board. We have special content for all our members, perks, prizes, and giveaways going down in the off season as well as in season for the NBA, man. Salute again to you guys, man. Thank you so much for joining me this early morning. Y'all know how I do. And I'll be back at you guys later on this afternoon with another live stream. But I did want to tap into what you guys' thoughts and opinions was about this Draymond Green situation and what he felt like was his biggest regret. You know, it personally may be his biggest regret if that's the mindset that he has. I just think that is foolish. And it just gives me another example of him, you know, not taking accountability for his actions, his repeat actions, which helped cause the momentum to shift and Golden State to lose to LeBron and the Cavs in 7 in the NBA Finals. But that's me, man. It's a wrap for now. I'll catch you guys this afternoon. Y'all stay safe. Have a happy Tuesday, NBA community. And I am about to sign off. Salute y'all. Peace.